I like it. It looks fresh, but how are we not going to put a crab, or how are we not going to put the best looking flag out there, the Maryland flag, incorporated in the City Connects? They're City Connects. Put the Maryland flag in there. Put a crab in there. Put my logo on there. What's going on here? We got Aaron Judge destroying stadiums. He should be arrested, first of all. With everyone at BTL chat, telling the squad ride, we'll break you guys out of prison later. This guy's cheated multiple times in the past, gotten caught for it. He's actually a human trash can. This dude is the scum on the bottom of your shoe. That guy goes park to park, stadium to stadium, a grown-ass man with a baseball glove, like he's playing in the game, taking home runs from kids, not giving little man the respect he deserves. What a loser.
They're watching me flourish, I'm watching them run. Damn. Brand new bag for pro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to...
What's up, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 269 piece. Nice. Hold the fry. As always, joined by your guys, Krabs and Javon, on the Monday before the 4th of July. Look, boys, we still got work to do. All right, we've got games going on. We've got squares to find. We've got bets to hit. All right, so not a ton to go over today. We've got MLB, Javon, a couple games, not a full slate at all. Yeah. It ain't much, but it's honest work. We're going to figure it out.
Got to do what you got to do.
Sure.
Get ready for tomorrow because, tomorrow we'll have baseball all day, 24/7. Hot dogs and baseball, pretty much.
Yeah, when's the hot dog eating contest? That's what people need to know.
999 the entire day.
No, not me doing a contest. The actual pros, the guy who can actually eat a lot of hot dogs, Joey Chestnut.
Sources are saying you got an invite, but you declined it.
I did decline it respectfully. I didn't want to show anybody up. I didn't want to, break any bridges or, end anybody's career like Joey Chestnut there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Prize Picks. They've got squares up, Javon. Unbelievable.
They do.
And they look beautiful. They're all colored and labeled, and this is goods. Looks like Joey Chestnut, 72.5 hot dogs. Back in my day, he was eating 75. And I remember that number was at 74.5. Maybe he's getting older. Maybe he's lost his fastball. I don't know, chat, but you know what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'll be fading Joey. That's a fact. Go ahead and put me down for under 72.5 hot dogs eaten. I don't believe in the guy anymore. No heart. All right. Every year he goes down a hot dog or two. I'm going to fade once again. And look, it could be at 80.5 and I'd still take his under. You guys know I'm taking it. And this might be the only, Prize Picks hot dog talk you guys are going to get out of us this week. Javon, you got any sharp plays on here before we move?
No, I don't, but I'm definitely going to have to find some. I want to take some of the guys at the bottom of the board here, figure out what their story is, and nuke some of their squares. We'll figure it out.
I bet, Trent. Yep, that makes sense. We got Trent in the tent, I believe. Trent, I hope you're having a good time out there in Cali this week, relaxing. We need you back strong end of this week going into the All-Star game. So enjoy yourself. Listen up. We'll get you some PP squares today. I wish they had Keibert Ruiz up there today because that'd be a free square. I'm going to have to make a call for that one, and we'll get to that game later. That should be absolutely electric, Javon. Nats welcoming in the Reds. Nats honestly playing good ball right now. They've won 3 of their last series on the road. Pretty impressive. I don't think they've done that. Excuse me. I don't think they've done that in years, even when they were, decent. So very impressive. The bats are hitting right now. I mean, Candelario in the middle of that lineup is a force to be reckoned with. And although Meneses is cold, everybody else is picking up the slack. So we'll talk about that game plenty, chat. I like the over. I like runs from both sides. The Nats ML is looking at me funny, but you guys know my rule there. I do think they pull out a win. But Javon, what are your thoughts on the Reds coming to D.C.? Any chance we catch your boys sleeping? And we're playing good baseball right now.
100%. I mean, I think even before I saw, not even just the line now, but even before I saw the opening line, I was very scared of this series. I think it's a massive trap series, especially coming in after massive emotional wins over, really good teams in the Padres, at least on paper. Not only today, but they also see Mackenzie Gore and Patrick Corbin, who I'm never really scared of Patrick Corbin, even coming off of his little masterclass that he had against the Mariners. But Reds can't hit lefties, especially on the road. So they're going to be in their inferior split 2 of these games. So talking about the series price, I wouldn't mind that little sprinkle on the plus 155 series tied, because I do think I kind of lean Nats today, and that leaves the 2 games, one of them for them to scratch against the lefties. Because I don't think they're getting both. And I think this is a weird little series here.
Yeah, 4-game series, chat. That's why you're seeing the series tied, just like the Cardinals. I'm with you. And there is one guy who hits lefties all right in that Reds lineup, and Matt McLain, maybe one of the biggest all-star snubs. And we'll talk about that today as well, chat. All-star game snubs, all-star game talk. We got to talk about it today. We got nothing else to. All right. MLB head-to-head lineups. We'll do those for the week, Javon. My lineup's absolutely stacked. I got mine in first this week, chat. I have an edge. I'll still find a way to lose. All right. But we're going to go over that. We'll do Javon's cheat sheets, MLB games, Prize Picks simultaneously as well. That's been working out great. But first, let's do W recap. You guys thought I forgot about it. W squad right on Friday. Never in doubt. Never in doubt with the Giants ML. Look, I didn't like the play that much, and it looked ugly early. But you know what, chat? That's a great reminder. You trust the squad ride. You bet it every day for a unit, and you're going to be up coin. Plain and simple. Don't ever think it, Javon. Great call. Giants were never in doubt.
W. Patrick Bailey for that short-run shot. That was electric.
Yes. W. Patrick Bailey.
Without him, they get swept in that series.
We'll take it. And I'm pretty sure we hit another 18.
We did. We did do that.
Unbelievable. Chat, we are red hot on the Prize Picks board. Let's keep moving and grooving, Javon. We've got work to do this week. Let's not get complacent. All right? Just because there's a holiday and fun tomorrow does not mean we don't find winners this week.
Yeah, no holidays. No days off.
No holidays, no fun. Okay?
Head-to-head lineups last week. You pulled out a win. I did hit 100. Thank God. It was close. Scoring less than 100 in this is like when you hit your tee shot and it doesn't go past the senior tees chat. That's what it's like. So I did get to 100, but Javon wiped the floor with me once again. I believe he is 5-2 now. 5-2.
Sounds right.
Sounds about right. All right. And we'll go over those lineups as well, Javon, coming up. But first, I want to talk about Manoah. Alek Manoah making another start, I think yesterday, I believe, or at least over the weekend. And he looked good. He did his job. And this is honestly, Javon, what we need.
Yes.
We need him to be good enough to come back to the league and get some starts under his belt so he doesn't DFA in that season-long entry, right?
Yeah, that's what we need. I actually did some digging too. So I was looking back to see like what happened in that like Florida Complex League start. So just for some, I guess, background on that, it wasn't as bad as it seemed because the whole point of him going there was to work specifically on like a set thing or two. And what they did during that start, it's like they send guys down there so they can just work on specific things without worrying about the score of the game. And what they did with him is they made him throw strictly fastballs. It was like a coach called game or like instructor called game where he was working like different parts of the plate, different movements, different tunneling of the fastball, like all throughout like those first couple innings. And the hitters knew what was coming. So like that's the reason like he got destroyed in that start, and it wasn't really of any concern like to them. It looked alarming to like Twitter and the general public, but really wasn't that bad. So I'm glad to see him come back and have a pretty solid start because realistically comes back and gives us a couple starts. He could throw 3 perfect games and we'd still be soaring over. So I'm hoping that he comes back pretty, not quickly, but in enough time.
Okay. W's from BetMGM Twitter. Hot dog contest betting update 77 or 67% of money is on Joey to go under. I bet he is. I bet. Has the public lost faith in the GOAT? Is the under looking public? Maybe people are getting on the Joey fade train. I don't like that. Interesting, though. I always take those tweets with a grain of salt. That guy works for BetMGM. Why would he be tweeting that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And look, either way, the guy's eating 70 hot dogs, and that's freaking crazy as it is. So if he doesn't hit the record or whatever, I mean, it's still just an unbelievable thing to witness and kind of gross. Kind of gross as well.
A little bit.
But you feel better about Manoah coming back up now after a nice, real start under his belt?
Yeah. I mean, I really didn't have a doubt that they'd be bringing him back at some point because he's just too talented for them to leave him down there for the entire rest of the season. And the back half of their rotation it's going to see they're going to start getting hit up very, very soon, a lot more than they have been. So I've always thought he was going to get brought back up. Him looking good in the minors is definitely an encouraging sign for that. So
yeah,
no doubts.
100%. 100%. Domingo start after the perfect game. Yeah, we're fading. We'll get to that in a minute as well. But Javon first. Well, people are talking about home run derby. Maybe Adley just got at it. Ooh.
Maybe.
W for Lauren. Chat, we'll be heading out to the All-Star game and home run derby this coming week. I think Sunday we leave, Javon.
Yeah.
I know she'll be stoked for that.
We got all our goats in here. You got Randy in there too. I'm pumped. It's the third Ray.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, third Ray ever. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
So as of right now, I think we have 6 of the 8 contestants in right now. I think there's 8 typically. Correct me if I'm wrong. Adley is in there. We got Pete Alonso, who just absolutely loves the home run derby. He's addicted to it. He was in that. Randy, very cool. Javon, I know you'll be rooting for him. We got Mookie Betts. Maybe Trent will be taking him, or another guy coming up here soon. Vladimir Guerrero, another guy who Trent would love, who probably wouldn't win. Maybe even J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez, after he put on a show in that first round when we were out there last year, Javon, and then kind of ran out of gas against Soto. People forget we got to see Soto in a Nats uniform win that last year. Pretty cool. Pretty freaking cool. Doesn't that feel like forever ago?
It really does.
When he had the curly W on, that was literally a year ago, bro.
Yeah. That's
crazy to me. It feels like 10 years ago. Oh, so ridiculous. And yeah, Ellie should be doing the derby for entertainment. And you know what? Ellie should probably be in the All-Star game too. And I don't care if he didn't play as many games. I don't care If his stats were not, the best in baseball, I don't give a shit. If you're going to do the All-Star game where it's fan voting and the most important part of it is to grow the game, then why not go 100% in and just pick the most exciting young players that we all want to see? Don't go 50-50. Don't half-ass it. Either pick the best guys and have this actually be an all-star game where it's the best two teams with the best players in the first half of the season, no matter what their names are in baseball playing, or do what they're trying to do halfway, and that's just pick the most exciting young players and grow the game. Don't do the halfway BS where you're letting in some cool guys and then you're also snubbing some others like De La Cruz and Tatis, who Tatis probably deserves to be in it, even with missing the games and getting suspended. So that's kind of where my head's at with this, Javon. I don't know what you think about the All-Star game, but I'd like to see them actually pick a direction that they want to go in,
Yeah, I mean, you probably know how I feel because I saw Whit Merrifield get in over Wander Franco, which is absolutely insane. But they need to get rid of fan voting. It's enough is enough. We're getting like the popular teams, the new like team that is really good is just getting their entire lineup in every year. Like we saw it like back in the day where like the Royals had their entire team, their World Series year. I mean, the Rangers do this year, the Braves. It's really Rangers versus Braves, pretty much the entire roster, which not to say a lot of those guys didn't deserve it, but with the fan voting, it gets repetitive over like every single year. But and even especially like when they take like the reserves are not directly fan voting selected, but they take those into account, which is why we saw Whit Merrifield get a spot here over a guy who is by WAR the most like valuable player in the AL, not named Shohei Ohtani, which how that guy doesn't get in the All-Star game. Like I honestly have no problem with him not getting in over Bo Bichette or Corey Seager because they've been amazing, but they've thrown that little middle infield designation around. So I don't see a reason why Whit Merrifield should be in Seattle. So it's ridiculous, but yeah, they need to alter it a little bit.
Whit's had a good year. He has not had the year that Franco has had.
No.
I'm with you.
No.
I'm with you. Thrasher, yeah, I had to cop one at the Orioles game on Saturday. Nothing like a 1-0 loss when you have the Orioles in the over, huh?
Yep.
And then you got to start out with your fam and act like you don't care. I cared. I was pissed. Spencer Steer definitely got snubbed. Yeah, for sure. Luke Raley, Josh Lau. I guess you could say they got snubbed. Sure. I mean, anybody on that Rays team deserves it. Tatis, I think, definitely got snubbed hard. I'm pretty sure this is the article that pissed me off, and I ended up closing it because they didn't even have Lane Thomas's name in it. So let's keep scrolling here, and let's see how mad I can really get. I don't understand how that's just getting swept under the rug. And look, I'm biased, and I also, probably just see more Nats talk on my feed because I'm a Nats fan. But Josh, I would love for you to pull up the tweet I tweeted yesterday about Lane Thomas getting snubbed and the thread under it. The tweet I put right under it that has Lane Thomas's stats with all the other best outfielders in the NL. And the guy is right up there.
Yeah.
He's right up there. Yeah. And look, he's on a losing team. I get it. And it's not like Josiah Gray didn't deserve it. The way that guy's been pitching recently, he should be a damn all-star. He looks great. But you can't tell me he deserves it more than Lane Thomas. He doesn't, although I think they probably both do. And it just sucks. You get a guy like Lane Thomas who at times his career was borderline over in the Cardinals. Straight up. I mean, the guy's career was hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
He gets traded to D.C. for nothing. For old-ass John Lester's arm is hanging off his body at the point by string. And the guy struggles his first year or two when he's here. Everyone's rallied around him, gassing him up. He's talked about it so much, how the Nats have built his confidence where he didn't even think he was that guy, but they've made him know and believe that he is that guy, and it's resulted in the play you guys have seen this whole season. He has been unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it sucks that he got snubbed. It is what it is. Maybe somebody will back out and he'll get to hop in there, but I doubt it at this point. We'll see. Hate to see guys get snubbed on shit teams who probably deserve it more over guys on, the two best teams in baseball, like the Rangers and the Braves, who got all their guys in the All-Star game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, not that, like you said, Josiah Gray didn't deserve an All-Star nod, but I mean, if we had to, seems like you're sticking to the Nationals only deserve one All-Star type narrative, or at least that's what they did with the combination of the voting or whatever. I mean, I would still say it's Lane Thomas, regardless.
It is.
One, he's had an absolutely unreal season. Josiah Gray's been great. I guess you can even throw Mackenzie Gore as a third option in there. He's also been great, but
I'd say even Yamer Candelaria, who has the third best WAR in baseball on Fangraphs at the third base position in all baseball.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Nobody knows
Pretty,
who he is.
yeah, it's pretty clear. I mean, WAR apparently doesn't matter, even though it's kind of one of the best all-encompassing stats. Because, I mean, we were talking about that with the starters, too. I mean, Jose Ramirez, top 10 WAR in baseball, and you got Josh Young starting over him. That was a joke. That's back to the popular vote type thing that they need to change, but it is what it is. Lane Thomas, I'm hoping that he gets a little injury replacement, which
is anybody in this outfield? Well, Corbin Carroll, maybe.
Corbin Carroll's gone, most likely.
Is that official?
Not official, but
what's his injury?
I doubt it. I don't know. It's his neck. That was like the initial injury that he got like in the game against the Rays. I don't know if it's any more significant than that. So
I agree with Phil's. I do think Castellanos should be going, and it kind of sucks that this position is stacked so much. I agree. I think Castellanos should be the guy going from the Phillies. I do. But it just kind of fucked us over, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of tough.
If Corbin Carroll's out, I don't even think Lane Thomas gets it. I think they give it to Tatis. That's the worst part.
Yeah. I want to see how they manage his injury through the rest of the week, because like he's back and playing. I can only assume they're going to give him a day off or two this week, and we'll see if they're full send on him to Seattle.
He's already playing?
Yeah. I mean, he played one game.
No, he's definitely playing in the All-Star game. You know how bad he wants to play and as a rookie?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's playing. God damn it. I didn't know he's already back. Oh, all right. It is what it is. That's enough Lane Thomas talk for one day. But look, chat, you guys know I'm biased, but I think you can all agree with me on this one. He got shafted.
Yeah.
He got shafted.
100%.
It is what it is. Some of your guys got shafted too. Wander Franco, you already kind of talked about it, but not only just his stats on paper, which were good enough to get him in. The guy is a stolen base machine. The guy is a defensive wizard, and none of that got taken into consideration, or it didn't matter. He got snubbed, and yeah, he might be the biggest snub. He's up there. He's up there,
yeah.
John.
I mean, I heard Jeff Passan, which is crazy to hear that the Rays actually get love finally in the national media, but he came on while they were doing the selection show yesterday, and he was like, yeah, I think Wander Franco's the best player in the AL, not named Shohei Ohtani. And he was like, I don't think I've ever seen an all-star snub this significant. So I was like, oh, that obviously felt pretty good to hear, finally.
The two chicks up there had no idea who Wander Franco even was. They looked at him like he had 10 heads. They were saying, who did they say should go? They had two of the worst answers I've ever heard. It was Masataka Yoshida, because he's not from the U.S., should be there. That was one of the reasonings. Give me a break. What was the other one, Javon? God. I think it was Tatis.
It's probably Tatis.
I think it was Tatis. And I'm like, well, the guy, he missed 20 games of the season, and he's on a shit Padres team who should be in the same boat as the Nats. You should send one guy from that shit team, too. How about them apples?
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. And then Jeff Passan goes up there and spits facts. That guy knows ball.
He does.
Smokes. And Chad, I'm very happy that Adley's going to the home run derby. I think that's very cool. And he needs something good going for him right now, because he's been struggling.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
Who else? Would you have liked to see Ellie go?
Nah.
Doesn't deserve it?
I mean, I would have liked to see Matt McClain go, not Ellie. I don't think Ellie is quite deserved it yet, even though it would be super fun. I'm hoping that somehow get him in the home run derby, which usually that messes up a guy's swing. But for a guy who's like, I know a lot of it's like he struggled lefty, but it would be a fun show to see, and maybe it could get a swing right. I know they did that with forget who it was last year. Maybe it was Acuna, who was struggling a little bit in the power department. Then he went in the derby. Soto did that too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There could be more. I don't know, but I know Soto raved about the home run derby.
Yeah,
helping him.
So I mean, for a couple of guys, it hurts them, but for a couple of
guys hate it. Some guys will never play it. Some guys love it. Pete Alonso loves it. I don't think he does it because it helps his swing. I think Pete Alonso just is like a little kid trapped in a grown man's body and just wants to play in a home run derby. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He said he's retiring after this one, though.
No way.
Yeah. So it's his final.
Well, good, because let's give somebody else a chance, Pete. You're goods. You're great. You get to pull the Pete cards. If you want to go, And also, shout out Pete for hitting a nuke last night and cashing his total bases. Absolute beast. And the Mets last night for doing their job for once. Pete can play the Home Run Derby however long he wants. He's good enough where he can pull that card. But let's give it to some other guys, especially if you're not winning every year. Let's give a chance to someone else.
Golf.
Right? De La Cruz first home run went 458. Yeah, don't you think he deserves to be in it?
Dude, I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, he sees pitches like that in the Derby. They're literally going to have to throw him chest-high fastballs in the Derby because that's just what he destroys. He can't hit anything low in the zone, which is why he's struggled for a little bit and we'll wait for him to get back. But
maybe they figure that out a little bit.
Yeah, that would be unreal. Seeing him in the Derby would be awesome.
I mean, how is the MLB not waiting outside this guy's house? Just waiting, just going up to him with cash. Just please play in the Home Run Derby. Help us. Here's $1 million. Just do it. You got to get that guy in the contest. Whatever you got to do. I don't care if he doesn't want to do it. America needs to see him on the big stage. And I know a lot of people have gotten hip to him. A lot of people have. At least baseball OGs have. But the world has not. And they won't until the Reds go to the playoffs, knock on wood. And they won't until Ellie De La Cruz maybe goes to the Home Run Derby. And they get to see him on the biggest stage there. It would be very good for baseball and in their best interest to do whatever they can to get that guy in the Derby, whether he wants to do it or not.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it.
Oh,
Matt, do you think they'll give him juiced baseballs like they did with Judge at the end of the season if he ends up slumping a little bit? Or is that just for Yankees?
Yeah.
Is that only pinstripes rule or is that for everybody? I don't know. You guys let me know. You guys got a value play for the Derby? Bro, we don't even know all the contestants yet. Let's take a breath.
We got anything yet.
You know we're going to have Derby plays. I hit the Derby winner last year. Although it was Soto, I was picking him. There's really no actual smart bet knowledge behind it.
People forget.
We're running it back.
Took Albert Pujols to win round one. That was
people do forget.
Insane. People do forget that.
People forget you took Pujols and it hit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are we going to see Mickey get a chance in the Home Run Derby this year? I hope not. I will lose sleep over that.
I'll lay any sort of juice on his first round matchup. He ain't keeping up.
Well, they give him the fake baseballs.
I mean, he's still got to gather the strength to swing.
I know. Daniel, I know, dude. I know. Mariners, sure. $1,000 risk-free bet, sure.
Yeah, to be fair to you, though, I mean, Brian Wu doesn't get hurt. He probably goes 7 shutout, unfortunately.
Or it wasn't Wu.
Or not Wu.
Miller.
Bryce Miller. Brian
Miller had a fucking blister on his hand.
Yeah, he got a blister, so he's out in like the 4th.
And I wouldn't be betting on – look, guys, we're at that time of the year where these guys' hands get fucked, and nobody talks about it enough. It's honestly a thing. Some of these pitchers, especially young guys who aren't used to these workloads, their hands, they get these fucking blisters around this time, and next thing you know, the guy's shit for a month. Just keep it on the back of your radar. If this blister doesn't go away for Miller, because he's probably not going to miss a start. They usually don't miss starts for stuff like this unless it's really bad.
Yeah.
But he could go out there and reopen that bitch in the 3rd inning, and next thing you know, he's out of the game again. All right?
Yeah.
Krabs, Firework Graphic, net worth play. And that's ML. I bet Giotech. I bet. The Nats have fireworks at the game afterwards, but you might not have to wait to see the fireworks in that one until after the game. There might be 100 runs in that one. 100. One more all-star snub I wanted to talk about before we move into games. David Bednar. He might have gotten the biggest shaft. Straight up. He's got a 1.44 ERA. He's only blown 1 save. The guy throws fucking gas. He has more 4-out, 5-out saves than anybody else in the league because the Pirates suck. And whenever they have a chance to win once a week, they put him in there for like 6 outs, 5 outs. He's unbelievable. And he probably won't be a Pirate soon. He got absolutely shafted.
Yeah.
Absolutely shafted.
Yeah.
Would love to see him get to go. I don't know how he didn't get to go. Who went from the Pirates? Am I being a moron?
Mitch Keller.
Okay, and
he certainly deserved it. But
yeah,
I always hate how they do the closers because it always ends up there's a snub. It feels like every single year. Smoke pinstripes.
Every good player on a bad team.
They don't need it though. Yankees bullpen's been fantastic. So
yeah, you guys need hitters.
Yeah, they need a bat.
Mm. Yeah, Duran got snubbed too.
Yeah, he did too.
Sheesh. Why don't we make the All-Star game roster bigger?
I mean, there's not really a point in that because then you're just gonna have guys sitting in the bench or on the bench.
Why don't we make it smaller? Huh?
I mean, that would suck even more.
Why don't we leave it where it is?
Yeah, you can leave it. Just make better choices.
Sure. Chat, let's dive into today's games. We're going to go over the MLB head-to-head lineups here and then do cheat sheets and MLB games. All right, let's lock in. I'll get it started. All right, I'm going to go with one of the biggest all-star snubs out there this week, who's probably going to be playing out of his mind, super pissed off, Matt McClain. This guy crushes left-handed pitching just as well as he does righty, if not better, Javon, one of the only guys in that Reds lineup that does. And like you talked about earlier, two lefties on the card for the Reds to face this week in D.C., Patrick Corbin and Mackenzie Gore, who looked terrible in his last start, also had a freaking blister on his hand. It's that time of the year. Hate to see it. I would not be betting on him until he gets right. But yeah, I'm going Matt McClain, probably in the 2-hole in that lineup where there's going to be a bazillion runs all series. Not ever thinking that one. He's one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now. Speaking of hottest hitter in baseball right now, Luis Robert. That dude's unbelievable right now. Mashing baseballs. I'm taking him in my outfield. And I'm going Pablo Lopez. Pablo Lopez on the bump, I believe, on Wednesday this week against the Royals. Either way, if it's Wednesday or Thursday, he's going to absolutely shove, maybe have 10 strikeouts against the Royals. He looked nails over the weekend, and he looks like he's locked back in. And the Twins, after having a team meeting last week, seem like they've got their ducks in a row, their priorities in check, and they're starting to play decent baseball. At least they did over the weekend before folding that game yesterday. I think the Twins might show some life going forward after that team meeting, and I like the way Pablo's looking on the bump. Give me Pablo as my pitcher, Matt McClain, all-star snub, as my infielder, and Luis Robert as my outfielder as well. Javon, we've got some sub-bangs, and then you're going to go over your lineup. Paddle What coming in with a sub-bang, 4 months, W's, Krabs, and Javon. Appreciate that. Non-basic gamer coming in with a sub-bang, 18 months. Need a straight home run hitter. Sorry if you covered it, but who you got? Caber Ruiz, plus 450. Total Slayer, resub coming in at 12 months. W's. Garrett Lambert sub-bang. Anthony V. Betts sub-bang, 9 months. Holy shit, you guys came to play today. W's. Supreme Fatty sub-bang. I missed all these today. Token picks. Why have you guys not been yelling at me? Derek Burgess sub-bang. What did we get, 100 today? Holy smokes. Like lightning. This might be the best one yet, Javon. Hungover AF. Need the insight today. Have not sniffed the lab for days. Like lightning 99. Have no fear. That's what we're here for. All right, brother, we got you. No stress. All right, my man. Sheesh. Spades. Sub-bang as well. And Bats Gambling. Let's go. Anybody else want to sub-bang while I'm ripping these off and interrupting Javon? Now is your time.
Huge.
Let's fucking go, Spades. W's. That was a mouthful. Javon, who are you picking for your lineup this week?
Yeah, so I went for my pitcher. I took Justin Steele, who has been ridiculous. I think he's now, the ERA leader, or maybe he got that after his last start, but he's been absolutely dominant really all season, but especially since coming back. We saw his first start back against the Orioles. He was amazing. His last start as well, fantastic. I mean, now he gets to go up against the Brewers lineup, who we all know by this point can't hit a lefty to save their lives. He's pitched really well against them in his career, too, a lot of those guys. And a lot of the righties in that lineup are obviously very young guys towards the bottom. So I think they're going to struggle against him a lot. I think he pitches Wednesday, so I think that's a great matchup for him. Then I went Josh Naylor, who we'll talk about this in a little bit, but I kind of think the Braves at the beginning of this week are pretty vulnerable, and I kind of like the guards in that series. And I do think either way it turns out, we're going to get more runs in the series, a lot of offensive production from the Guardians, and that comes against the non-Spencer Strider pitchers of this rotation. Starting today, you're getting the back-end arms of that rotation. So I think they get to him a little bit, and then you get the Royals, which one of them is Brady Singer. I think the other one is Lynch coming back maybe, or Jordan Lyles coming back. So really good matchups for him across the board. He is, of course, licking plat, like Trent loves to say, instead of Jose Ramirez, because he's getting a lot of the RBI chances. So,
Goats are muted.
yeah, we're getting some points there.
Are goats muted, or is my audio whack? Keep talking.
I think it might be you. But last one, Lane Thomas. All-star snub narrative, absolutely. Somebody said that in chat. But, again, a lot of vulnerable arms that he's going to see for the Reds this series. Obviously, he's going to see a couple lefties, first starting with Brandon Williamson later in the series. But also against like a lot of these righties, I think he has really good matchups too, which beginning today. So I think there's going to be a solid chance for a lot of runs for the Nationals this week, and I want to be on Lane Thomas's side when it happens.
Where's Shohei, or is that cheating? They're asking in chat. If you pick him to pitch, you can't count his hitting stats. If you pick him to hit, you can't count his pitching stats.
Yeah,
got to give ourselves a chance here with Shohei.
I've already taken him once, so I was like, I don't want to take him again.
Yeah, were you thinking about taking him to hit? Obviously.
No, I was thinking about taking him to pitch. But
really?
Yeah, because I think the ceiling's as high as ever for that matchup. But I already took him once. It's good enough. Get more creative.
How about Shohei hitting another nuke off a lefty last night? I swear to God, he prefers it at this point.
It's crazy.
It's only lefties. Have you noticed that?
I know. He's been mashing lefty.
Lefties pitching up and into him. Why do you keep doing it?
It's funny too, because like half the time they bring in like a reliever for a lefty matchup against him, and it's just instant nuke. Like it doesn't matter. It's crazy.
Nuts. I'm with you, man. And he has something going right now at the plate. I mean, he's hitting whatever he wants out of the park. It's seemingly only against lefties. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. There's been some on curveballs he's been waiting on. There's been some in fastballs that he's gotten around on. It's been so impressive. The guy's just built different. Best player I've ever seen. Matt's saying in chat. Yeah. Right now he is. I mean,
it would be the funniest thing in the world if he takes Aaron Judge's home run record. And I'm sure you would love that too.
Hysterical.
It would be so funny. I mean, what? He needs like 2 home runs before the All-Star break next week, and he's on pace. It'd be insane.
I know he was on pace when he hit his home run 2 home runs ago. He might even be on pace still or ahead of pace after his home run last night. I don't know. We're going to have to check that. But either way, it's close. And Shohei, I mean, could hit 10 home runs in a week with how he's been going. I mean, holy smokes. And look, he's probably going to cool off, chat. There's probably going to be a 2-week period in the second half of the season where we're all saying, wow, Shohei sucks. He hasn't hit a home run in 2 weeks. He strikes out every game now. His swing looks off. Well, you know what, chat? He's not a robot. He's a person, and it's impossible to stay locked in for 162 games. So just remember how good he's been overall, and let's nip that in the bud right now ahead of time, because he's going to have cold streaks like everybody. Yeah. But the guy's unbelievable.
Yep, pretty much.
Is he the best player you've ever seen in your life this season?
I mean, yeah, I guess anybody who's not – I guess anybody who's alive at this point really has to say that, unless you're talking Barry Bonds, debatable. But what he's doing from both sides of the plate is crazy. And yeah, he might
also, be. Yeah, he could be a robot. Maybe you guys are right. You might have me on that one. All right, I'll give you that. Okay. Let's move on to your cheat sheet, Javon. Why don't you take us through this, and then we will go ahead and dive into the MLB slate.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll do that. Get it pulled up, and then I have something else that I want to show everybody right after. But
yeah, what is this then?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But this little cheat sheet here, obviously we have home run targets. This is a short slate, so you're not going to see like the typical slate of turkey tossing guys. But Michael Grove up there with Luke Weaver, tied for the top spot. Obviously, you have Luke Weaver against the Nats. We were not a home run hitting team, so you might be in a well position, like I'm going to be here, taking some guys who are, at massive prices, because like I said, they're not a home run hitting team. They're not a team who hits for power, but against Luke Weaver, a lot of people turn into that. But I think the most interesting name, there you go, Devin. Love to hear that. But most interesting name for me here is Tyler Wells, who, like we've talked about this before, and we're talking about Dinger Tuesday. I think last week when Kenny was on, he has a propensity for the long ball, and he's going into Yankee Stadium today, where it's not very hard to hit one out. And yeah, you don't have a very dynamic Yankees lineup right now, but You do still have a lineup with Stanton in there. You do still have a lineup with Harrison Bader. You do still have a lineup with a lot of guys that can do it, even like lefties on the short porch, like a Billy McKinney, who I kind of like today too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Tyler Wells give up some today. Rest of them are kind of typical names we see. BVP stuff. Martin Maldonado, for some reason, owns Martin Perez. He's up there for half a base today. Hasn't got one in the entire series, so I'll die on the sword with that one. Then at the bottom, we got a couple guys who really surprisingly struggled against these pitchers. I mean, Anthony Rizzo, if I hadn't seen what he's done against Tyler Wells, I'd probably want to target him as somebody who could hit a home run to that short porch. But he's really, really struggled for whatever reason, 1 for 16. Then Bobby Witt, which is another surprisingly terrible history. I didn't understand that at all. So just some stuff. And yeah, home run weather is ridiculous in the Bronx today. There might be quite a few runs there. Splits and stuff. The reason like this matchup is so good for the Nats, but it's interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about it more, but they don't walk against righties, and Luke Weaver is not going to throw them many balls. So like they're going to be super aggressive. We talk about them being able to stack base hits. It's kind of a really good matchup for them to do so. They don't hit the ball hard, which is really what you want to do against Luke Weaver, but I think there's a lot more good than bad for them in this matchup. Astros, it's an early game. They don't K versus lefties. This is the surprising one that I was looking at numbers. Like Guardians, you don't think of them as being a very explosive offense, but I was looking at them like in the split they're in today, which, yes, they're playing the Braves. They don't play the Braves at home, the entire month of June necessarily, but facing righties at home, they're the second best team in the league, only behind the Braves, which I thought was awfully surprising, even though we've seen, spurts from them against the Royals or whatever it may be in their series, which I don't even think that was at home. But I think their offense is a really good series. So those are the majority of the big parts there. Token picks at Luis Garcia legacies. I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, he's up for that total base square again.
He's honestly, out of all the Nationals on the board for prize picks, that's the one I like the most because of what I just said. I mean, you're filling up the zone. Obviously, like Lane Thomas, great matchup. Jaimer's been incredible. But if you're filling up the zone and I want a guy who's going to attack in the zone, it's Luis Garcia.
Ball.
Yeah, of course.
Ball. Luis Garcia at one point last season, Javon, his on-base percentage was like 0.03 points higher than his batting average, like halfway through the season. I don't think I've ever seen that guy walk.
It's crazy.
I honestly don't know if I've ever seen him walk. He doesn't walk. It's his one kryptonite. It helps him at times. It helps him in matchups like this. It doesn't help him against effectively wild pitchers when he's swinging at balls in the dirt. But he's a swinger. And against a pitcher like this, that could be the matchup. Definitely want to dive into this game. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going. I was supposed to go. I'm not feeling too hot today, boys. So TBD on that. But definitely want to dive into this game, not only because of that, but because I think there's some weird home run odds in this game a little bit. We got CJ Abrams at 600, I believe, or 650, coming off an off day, getting benched because he can't hit the side of a barn right now. I thought that was a little short. He's typically only, in the 800s, 900s. Wouldn't mind targeting him. Dom Smith's been hitting nukes, Javon. I mean, we'd be lunatics to go back to him. I think he's hit 2 over the past week, which for him is like Shohei pace right now.
Yeah.
So probably stay off of him. Joey right now is the coldest hitter. The Nats have even benched him in 2 of the last 3 games we played, which never happens because he's been so cold. So let's not touch Joey one bit. K-Bert. K-Bert could be the guy.
Yeah, and while we're talking about this game, Josh, if you want to bring it up, I'll be doing a little bit of a challenge this week, and I can only assume that today it's going to come from this game. So doing this, a little hidden gem challenge, taking a no goats challenge all throughout the week leading up to the All-Star break. I'm going to take a plus money prop on anybody that's hitting 5th or later in the lineup. So I'm taking big value stabs pretty much every single day, and I can almost guarantee you that it's probably going to come from this game today. So I'm going to be doing this up until the All-Star game. Then there's going to be a little twist to it after the break that I'm going to be doing. But I definitely want to talk about stuff in this game because I think this is going to be a super fun week to do the challenge with a lot of the matchups we have on the mound. And especially today and in the series when you have a Nationals team who doesn't get much respect line-wise on props because they don't hit for power. I think this is going to be super fun. So that's what I'm doing this week. No goats, only plus chicken. We'll post the rules and everything on that to Twitter in a little bit. But yeah, this game is going to be really interesting for that. really interesting for that.
So you could take any props, any hitting props you want. Does not have to be a home run prop. You could take somebody to get a double if you wanted to, or triple, or whatever.
Yeah, you could take. I mean, really with the Nationals. I mean, outside of what Luis Garcia, probably Lane Thomas. No guys have that. I thought you would learn that after the Super Yards finally hit with no goats in there, other than like Lane Thomas. But I mean, other than Lane Thomas, other than maybe Jeimer, other than Joey Meneses, really, I guess who exactly hits in the top 4 of that lineup, you're going to get a lot of plus chicken just on their bases, which, I mean, I would probably take it a little step further because that's not as fun. But talking about targeting a lot of the back end guys, which is going to be awesome.
Okay. And it says hitting 5th or later. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know a guy on the Nats hitting 5th today who I know you like.
Yep. Just maybe.
Are you taking him?
Maybe. I know. I'm staring at that plus 135 over 1.5 bases. Not CJ Abrams, but the guy right below him.
Dickerson.
Corey Dickerson might be my guy because talking about targeting Luke Weaver's home run issues, which, yeah, they're probably a little bit exaggerated because he is in Great American Ballpark. He's one of the guys with, like, you look at his home runs to expected home runs on, like, Baseball Savant, and he's one of the most affected by it, again, because of where he plays. But Corey Dickerson is a sneaky pop guy from the left side. Obviously, he's done this for years, and I love that matchup for him. So if I'm talking, like, yes, this prop, but just in general, like we're talking a lot of the home run props in this game because there's going to be big value stats in the Nats. K-Bird is certainly weird that he's listed that high and leading the game, but Corey Dickerson's not far behind him. And probably makes a little bit more sense, but matchup-wise, I kind of like Corey Dickerson.
Okay. Yeah, both guys have been struggling, to say the least. K-Bird's the unluckiest hitter in baseball if you look at his projected numbers. Corey Dickerson right now just blows. But Javon, I'm not saying I don't like this prop one bit. You know I do.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing that does worry about me, though, is that Corey Dickerson recently, he's been just slapping the ball around the field. He's been slap hitting. He's been taking balls the other way. He's been fucking swinging like a little girl, just hitting the ball right up the middle. Look, I'm not saying if they don't throw him a fucking fastball high and in, he can't yank one out. We know he's got some pop over the years. Is it his odds that are looking at you funny? Is it his matchup against the pitch mix? What is it that you love?
I mean, I think his odds are maybe a touch low, but also like it's more so the matchup because, like, yeah, even if he's just slapping balls to the opposite field and not necessarily hitting with power, it's a better matchup in the sense that I know you've seen him. I know you've seen him swinging curveballs in the dirt 20 times out of 25, and he's going to get pretty much nothing but absolute filling up the zone by Luke Weaver. So if he's heading to the opposite field and he wants to slap one down for a double down the left field line, be my guest. I think we'll have plenty of chances to do that. So this is more matchup based than anything. But I mean, there's a lot of guys here where I could say the same.
100%. I think you have a better chance of Dickerson hitting a double than a home run today.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think K-Bert reverse. I think if K-Bert's hitting one, he's hitting one out. That's just my Nats take on those guys. Lane Thomas going over yesterday. I know he's not top 5 in the lineup, but this is just talking ball. Lane Thomas will bounce back today. I know he's up there for a run, I believe. What else is he up there for? I'm still in the hot dog category right now, chat. Give me a
hot dog category is crazy.
Let's do some lab work. Look, they got Abrams up for hit run RBIs. I guess we can dive in and start talking about these early games. We got Abrams up there, hit run RBIs. Dom's been up there this past week. He's been hot. Lane's up there for TBs. Okay, I bet. So is Garcia. I don't see a Lane run, though, like people were talking about in chat, maybe just on the books. But the square that sticks out to me the most, unfortunately, no K-Bird up there, would be Luis Garcia TBs, because whenever that's up, it hits. Yeah,
again, another, I think, perfect matchup for him, too, if he's going to get nothing but strikes. I will say, though, I mean, I know he's been terrible, and you probably don't want to target him, but the fact that he's been so terrible and they're putting Meneses total bases up.
He's always up there, dude. Maybe not for TBs, but he's
up for hit run and RBI sometime, but total bases has been pretty few and far in between. I was surprised to see that. I mean, if I had to pick the one that's really not up there and they chose to put it up today the most, I mean, it would probably still be like Lane Thomas, because he's not really ever up there for TBs, but it's interesting. Yeah. It was weird.
Jacob.
You know who jumped him?
Who?
Joey Votto, who's
Okay.
been atrocious.
Yep.
Atrocious. So I mean that's interesting.
Yeah, that is a little weird, I will say. But there's also going to be a bazillion runs in that game, so somebody's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. Very well could be Joey. Weather really throwing all these squares up. Weaver really throwing all these squares up. Yeah, Padawan, you're probably right. The Nats offense has been kind of on fire recently too. Both these offenses have. There'll be runs from both sides. Okay. Since we're in this game, Javon, we can kind of stay here, and then we'll talk about Houston, Texas, and Chicago, Milwaukee following, because I know this game start up soon. Get you guys some winners there. Okay. Any red squares though that we like today? I'll probably be backing my guy McLean if he's still up. He's up for a run.
Yeah, that's I mean, anytime he's up for that, and I love his matchup, he's scoring realistically.
Okay.
I mean, he's ridiculous. If he had like total bases up today, or they put a fantasy score up from like the first week or two that he was in the MLB, and that was printing.
Yep.
And you haven't seen it since. But when he's been out for this run, it's been hitting. So he's definitely like I think the best matchup. I didn't even see what's in the top right though, which is crazy. Joey Votto run. That's insane. They're putting him up with how terrible he's been.
But now that's my card.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. That's
The Votto one is ridiculous. McLean's been on fire. I'm not surprised to see
yeah,
it.
McLean makes perfect sense. But yeah, to see that is insane. Maybe we get a vintage Votto performance today. That would be nice. To be fair to him, he has been put in a few really tough spots. I mean, he's been facing a lot more lefties than I think they've wanted him to face over the last couple weeks or so, but he's been just not hitting anything.
And where has Friedel been hitting in this lineup?
He's going to be lead off, I can only assume. That's usually where he's against righties. So stay away from that pretty generally when he's up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. India's also – he's been scoring a little bit, but he's been terrible too. So,
I know, but he's up. He's been up every single day, I think, since the season started for something.
Yeah, for fantasy score, yeah. The run's a little weird, but I guess it could just be a 10 total tax.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the side and the total that people want to know, and they want us off this game because we talked about it for too long. What do you think about this game? The Nats win? You think it goes over? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the Nats win. It's not one I'm willing to go with the grave with, though. I think I would rather – I'm looking at this series, and I definitely think that there are 2 wins at the least for the Nats in here, and one of them is definitely the Mackenzie Gore game. The other one, honestly, might be tomorrow with Patrick Corbin on the 4th of July, too.
Bet. You know he loves the 4th of July, bro.
He does. The Reds don't love lefties, especially on the road. So, like, I'm definitely targeting those games, but, I mean, I can't ignore this massive line move against the Reds, which I already thought the line was – pretty short, even when it initially moved down to like minus 135, minus 130. Now it's back to minus 115. It's just, it's feeling like the Nationals to me. Luke Weaver, the only reason why I'm like not fully in on going for it is because Luke Weaver is crazy, and the fact that he always gets the most ridiculous run support in the league. Like, it's crazy. I saw a tweet yesterday that was they have won 6, his last 6 starts. They've also won Andrew Abbott's last 6 starts, which I think it was his entire 6 starts. Abbott has a sub-2 ERA in those, and Luke Weaver is above 9. So it's absolutely insane. Like, whenever it's Andrew Abbott, it's a low-scoring slugfest for the most part, like we saw yesterday. And Luke Weaver, they score 7 runs every time he's on the mound. It's crazy, and he sucks. So, like, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened today, especially when you like runs, but I just think this whole series as a whole scares me because I think it's a big trap series.
Okay. All right. Jack, give me the over. I think we get runs from both sides. It's square. I don't care. Both offenses are hot, but pitchers stink. Yeah, Irvin's been getting better, but he hasn't been facing the Reds. Could be ugly. I do like the Nats ML, but I'm not a lot about them. All right, we move. Let's talk about these 2 early games. Houston, Texas. It's been quite an exciting series in this one so far, Javon. We got Javier and Perez. This one starts up in about 40 minutes on TV for the people. What do we like in this one? I think Houston might have opened up a favorite initially, but now I'm seeing Martin Perez as a fat favorite. With how bad he's been?
Yeah.
That's a little interesting.
Certainly interesting.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm starting to buy into the demise of Christian Javier a little bit. To be real with you, not saying that he's reached like peak Martin Perez Turk levels, but his fastball is getting destroyed in the last couple weeks, last couple starts or so, and he hasn't been good. And he's coming off of, I believe, his last start was that game against the Cardinals where he got absolutely destroyed, and that game was a massive shootout. So really, I mean, against this Rangers lineup, I don't think this is a good time as any to bounce back. And it's a really tough matchup for him, especially against a lot of those guys and a lot of those lefties that have seen him quite a bit. So I'm leaning with the steam here with Martin Perez. I really don't ever care to back Martin Perez, but I think this has a lot more to do with the Rangers bats than, Martin Perez. And talk about like Luke Weaver syndrome. Martin Perez is kind of the guy who originated that this season and last. I mean, regardless of how bad he pitches, they drop 7-8 runs magically every time. So if we see a shootout here, I'm definitely going to lean with Martin Perez and the Rangers bats.
Any squares you like for the Rangers bats today?
Can't say I've really looked into too many of those, but I mean, they have plenty of guys who have seen them quite a bit. They have Josh Smith up for half a base, the GOAT.
Yeah.
Take that. I honestly wouldn't mind squaring up with Seager, to be honest with you. There's not really many Rangers, I guess, you can go to say and say you're not squaring up. It's either him or Semyon or whoever's hot at the point that they bring him up. Yeah, I saw that. We're going to bring that up later. But
wow.
It's against Snell, so it makes sense. But still crazy to see. But yeah, square for that game, I'd probably go Josh Smith, Corey Seager.
Okay. Dubs. We move. Chicago-Milwaukee chat. We got Drew Smiley on the bump going against Tehran, who can't keep getting away with it. Totals at 9. I like the over. What are your thoughts in this game?
Yeah, this is a tricky one because we do have the Brewers against a lefty, although it's a little different of a lefty. And Drew Smiley, which some of their guys have seen quite a bit. Some of them, it's more of a finesse lefty, which they haven't been as bad against. They're a lot worse against a lot of these lefties who have a lot more strikeout potential, going to generate a lot more whiffs, chases, all that type of stuff. So Smiley could be a little better of a matchup for them, but I'm kind of with you, and I think we get runs. Tehran is, I think, going to continue regressing to the Tehran of, 12-year, 13-year, maybe more MLB vet. He's going to continue putting up those numbers. So I do like offense, but I'm not in love with it just because I'm expecting – I don't want to bet all the overs these early games like the other two. But that's it's definitely what I lean there.
Also, everyone in chat saying Snell's not going today.
Is he not
What's
pitching?
going on with that? Is he not pitching today? Did he get scratched, chat? Did he get scratched?
Let's see.
Well, Trent tweeted out a square of Blake Snell and said, tell me how this isn't hitting. So maybe he did get scratched. I'm not seeing squat, though, boys.
They just put him up for props. I know it was uncertain to begin with, but I will see. I don't see a tweet.
I think he's pitching, boys.
Yeah, I don't see him confirmed. I don't see any tweets saying that he's pitching tomorrow yet. So
okay,
we'll leave it.
Okay. You like that over in Chicago, Milwaukee? You don't love it?
Yeah, don't love it, but lean it.
Okay. We move. What about St. Louis, Miami? We got Mikolas. We got Garrett. We got the line moving 30-ish cents towards Miami, maybe a little less. What are your thoughts in this game? Miami I believe they lost that series to the Braves. I think they got kind of pummeled in that series to the Braves, I believe. They lost all 3 games. Sweep. Coming back down to earth a little bit for Miami here. What are your thoughts in this game, Javon? 2 fraud teams.
Yeah, 2 fraud teams, certainly. I mean, I don't think you can even call the Cardinals frauds at this point. I think they're just bad.
No, they're just bad. One bad, one fraud.
Yeah, Marlins more in that category. But, yeah, I can't even really blame them. I'm not going to say they got destroyed in that series, and that's an indictment on them because it's just how good the Braves are right now. And especially when you come in there with a rookie pitcher in Yuri Perez who has done really well since he's been called up in his career. I'll give him that, but that's a disastrous spot for him to be put into against probably the hottest offensive streak we've seen in quite some time, to be honest with you. So giving up 6 is definitely not what you want to do there, but it's hard to fault them against that Braves offense right now. But I do think you're going to see some regression here. I've seen a lot of fish talk today, and I understand why. With Braxton Garrett, who's one of the most trendy pitchers right now, and even like the Marlins team, who's extremely trendy outside that Brave series, going up against Miles Michaelis, who nobody really believes in. Just finally had one of his first like really bad starts in a little bit here last series. I believe that was in the Astros series. So I kind of like him to bounce back here. I like the Cardinals against the lefty, especially a lefty who's going to give up a lot of barrels in Braxton Garrett. People forget that was a big issue for a majority of the season. The only reason it's kind of regressed a little bit is because the strikeout stuff's been steadily improving this season. So, yeah, the Cardinals are probably going to get their fair share of whiffs, but I think a lot of the righties in that lineup are going to have their way with him, like a Nolan Arenado, who I talked about him a little bit yesterday. They put him up for hits, runs, and RBI, which was a interesting thing when he's had a fantasy score up for a while. And when you have those big guys up for it, like the GOATs, they've been cashing that lately. And I'm thinking he starts to get going again here. I'm not going to say he has a run like he did earlier in the season where he had a home run pretty much every day. But I think he's going to be a consistent bat in this lineup more so than he's been for the past handful of, I guess you could even say like a month. So a lot of these bats I really do like today, and I think it's the Cards.
Okay. What do you think about Gene Segura, who's up for the Marlins? Hit run RBI. He's been up the last couple days. Now he's been heating up. Couldn't really get worse after the start of the season he's had, but he's starting to play well. He's got a nice little 6-game hit streak, 5-game hit streak going right now. Starting to lock in. Would not mind buying low on Gene Segura as he continues to get that batting average above the freaking Mendoza line. Almost call it the Mason-Dixon line, the Mendoza line. He's still hitting a $1.99, Javon. I would not mind taking that.
I wouldn't mind taking that at all.
Okay.
A little bit.
And he's only been up recently, right? I've only seen him up for within the past weekish.
Yeah, I think he's been up every day for like a month, pretty much. But it's not like he's been swaying one way or the other necessarily. He hits, I mean, from the times that I've paid attention to it, he's hitting 50-50.
Okay. I don't like it as much. You like that Arenado square a lot?
Yeah, I wouldn't say a lot because I like him in this matchup, yeah, but this is more like a series outlook for me on Arenado because he's starting to get going here. I think that's really going to continue. So I like his square. Don't love it necessarily, but I'll be looking after him the next couple of days. He was close to making my head-to-head lineup.
Gotcha. What about Baltimore and the Yanks? Finally got to it. Domingo Germán coming off a no-no. I bet. Coming off a perfect game. I bet. Well, Javon, I'll be damned. I am surprised to hear the amount of people that want to fade this guy today.
I know.
Maybe it's because he's a piece of shit. Definitely would be a reasonable excuse. Maybe it's because he's on the Yankees, and we all hate him. I'll tell you what, that opener for Baltimore, if you look at how well Wells has pitched overall in the season, and you look at how well Domingo Germán's pitched over the season, I don't think the line is that weird. The Orioles are a better team. Now, I will say Wells is much better at home than he is on the road. So maybe that opener at -130 for Baltimore was a little bit telling after Domingo Germán threw a perfect game in his last outing. I will give you that. I don't think it's insane. I think it's a little bit long. But now that line is obviously pulled back to almost a coin flip, a pick 'em, and not really surprising there. Would love to see where the splits are at right now and taking a peep. Orioles are a little bit public. Not really, or I am a little surprised to see that. They're getting 50% of bets, 60% of handle on the ML after this guy threw a perfect game in his last outing, Javon. Way more fade talk than I expected.
Yeah, and I was with you kind of initially looking at the last, I guess we talked about it like on Friday. We'd be looking forward to fading him, but it's become awfully popular. And I really don't want to be on the other side of that when it's correlated with a line move against that too. I just think it's the over. I think this is somebody talked about the hitting conditions in Yankee Stadium. That's a plus. I don't really think you need them when you have two massive fly ball pitchers on the mound, and Domingo Germán, whose fastball outside of the perfect game has been getting absolutely destroyed. You got Tyler Wells, who even when he's at his best, he has a serious home run problem too. even worse. I mean, if you look at the numbers, than Domingo Germán, which is crazy to think about. But I think both these offenses just absolutely show out today. I think this is a game where I wouldn't be surprised to see the over hit very, very quickly in the first couple of innings, and maybe both these starters get chased. So I don't really want to mess around with the Orioles, even though I do still think in the back of my mind that I want to take them and that it's them, but I'd rather just go with runs.
Chat, the hot dog contest is tomorrow at noon or 12:30. All right. We'll get some plays going and we'll sweat it out on BTL maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll run something. I don't think I'm doing shit tomorrow. I'll be honest with you guys. Maybe I'll run a weird Joey Chestnut BTL app and we'll fade him and we'll sweat that. We'll see.
There you go.
TBD on that. Hicks home run. People keep talking about Hicks today. Hicks revenge game, Hicks this, Hicks that. Are his odds weird to hit a nuke? Are people just wanting or forcing a narrative here, Javon? What's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, it's a revenge angle. I mean, I guess we've seen it play out for a lot of these guys who've gotten traded to and from. So I'm not surprised to see a lot of people on it, but definitely not fading it.
Hicks total base. Yeah. He's up there for a half. Looks like they want you to take that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at like weird odds for home runs, like it's definitely Anthony Santander. He's the shortest by quite a bit, and he's got the total bases up on Prize Picks that are fully redded out too. So I mean, he's got a really good matchup, but his odds all look suspiciously low with this.
Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't do shit last week when I took him in the head-to-head.
Yeah, that's also true. But you know,
he didn't do a thing.
It's the get back time right now after your team finally released him. Now he's going to do bigger and better things today.
Santander plus 235 after a PG, I bet. Santander PBs. What about Josh? Do me a favor. Click on that Tyler Wells earned run square. I might have found a square to get Javon to unban this category.
I do unban it. I do unban it at times.
Should be hiding there at the bottom.
There it is.
Yep, feast your eyes. There it is. I mean, could be both teams scoring today.
I mean, I think it is. That's why I really, really like that over. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it getting pretty juicy overnight, like minus 125, minus 130. I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps growing a little bit. And this is off the board soon. But like on the other side too, what are you supposed to put the line at necessarily?
I don't know. I'm just surprised they even put it up.
Yeah, that's also fair.
Because they pick and choose who they put up for this category.
Yeah, fair point. But yeah, I mean, I think both these pitchers are giving up 3-4. Easy.
Okay. Now let's look at the Yankees. We looked at the O's. We like Santander. We like Wells. Let's look at the Yanks. Who do you think on the Yanks has a decent matchup today against Wells? Anybody?
Who do we have up? I mean, we just have Stanton. I mean, I want to take Billy McKinney. I think he's going yard today, to be honest with you, if he plays. He's up for half a base there. But I mean, it's kind of – I didn't even see the chart too. That's a nice little added bonus. But we really just have him, Harrison Bader, and Giancarlo Stanton, which I wouldn't be shocked to see home runs from 2 out of the 3 of those guys, including Billy McKinney. So I have absolutely no problem taking any of those guys. But probably out of the 2 hits, runs, and RBI guys, I know everybody in the chat loves Harry Bonds. I wouldn't be mad at going to him at all.
Okay. Dubs, go ahead and give me McKinney. That's the nasty square. We're taking that. That's in it.
There we go.
Did they have Herman up? They do have Herman up for 2.5 earned runs after a perfect game. I'm just saying. He's up for 2.5 earned runs after a PG.
Yeah.
But we know these squares bite us in the ass over and over again.
Yep. He's giving up runs, and so is Wells. I'm just taking the over. I don't want to get cute with the earned run squares unless I feel extremely confident in a lack of fluke.
Okay. We move. We got 4 or 5 more games to get to. Atlanta, Cleveland. We got Elder going against Williams, 2 young gunners. Total down from 9.5 to 8.5, Javon. I am done fading Bryce Elder. He is literally Cal Quantrill 2.0. I think it was Phil Zutley who tweeted out the other day, and it made an incredible amount of sense. So if that was you, Phil's W tweet, he is unfadable. He dominates. He wins. He outperforms. I'm done. I'm calling it. That's the best way to do it in baseball. If these guys own you, you just put them to the sides. I'm good. I don't want to bet this game. What do you like?
I like the Guardians. I'm fading them. And the first thing I looked at with this game was the series price, which the Braves, regardless of who they're playing, they've been shown a massive amount of respect because they've just been that good. Like in the Marlins series, they were minus 240 to win that series by the time we saw first pitch. I guess a more comparable comparison is the Red series when they're coming in playing the other hottest team in baseball in the Reds, and they were on the road. They were minus 160, minus 130, minus 135 in those 3 sets of games, all with kind of inferior arms on the mound for the Braves, which is why a lot of those games saw runs. So it was AJ Smith-Shawver, Jared Schuster, and Charlie Morton. And they closed minus 210 in that series against the hottest team in baseball, and they won that series. Now I look and I see the Guardians here getting a lot of respect with the Braves only sitting minus 150. It's really interesting, especially when you look at, like, first up, you have an all-star Bryce Elder on the mound against a rookie pitcher who's been up for 2 weeks, and Gavin Williams, which I thought was pretty strange. And on the back end of this series, you also have Cal Quantrill, who's been up now for 1 start, and it got absolutely destroyed by the Chicago Cubs. So it's a really weird lack of respect for the Braves. And I use kind of the marker price for this is like usually teams are going to be favored by like at least they're going to be minus 140 at least every single game of the series pretty much. With the Braves, they're going to be a little shorter tomorrow. But they're usually like minus 170 in the series. That's like the kind of we show you respect. You're a favorite. You're going to win 2 or 3 at the very least price. Now that they're minus 160 down to minus 150, which I thought was awfully strange. Braves roll. Ryan is indeed fake sharp. Sure. I don't care. You're not setting hot takes by saying the Braves are going to win. But I like the Guards in this game, and I like the Guards in this series.
Okay. I mean, my gut does too, but I've just been too hurt by Elder because of comments like this that are kind of true. The books don't respect Elder either. They really haven't all year. Maybe they have started to a little bit more, but I feel like that guy continuously gets disrespected, and I keep fading him, and he keeps winning. But the Guardians are also playing much better baseball recently. They're starting to hit the ball and turn it into that Guardians team from last season. So you're kind of still buying low on the Guards, who are still under 500s. You're fading the Braves, who are almost 30 games over 500. Even that's unsustainable a little bit for one of the best teams in baseball. So I kind of like the trajectories of these two teams over the next week before the All-Star break here. Maybe the Guards catch the Braves sleeping a little bit as they kind of roll into the All-Star break fat and happy, all making the All-Star game. And the Guards are obviously still trying to win these games because they need to keep their playoff chances alive. I don't hate the motivation angle here of backing the Guardians, who have been a little hot recently too.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're really starting to get going. And yeah, he is. Like, realistically, this is as good a matchup as they can get. You see the total down. You see 90% of the bets, 90% of the money on the Braves, and the lines move 20, 25 cents against them with their newest all-star starter on the mound against, like I said, Gavin Williams, a promising but rookie pitcher who's been in the league for 2 weeks. Against the best team in baseball right now, most dominant team in baseball, one of the most dominant teams we've seen in a while, coming off a sweep of America's one of their new favorite teams.
Holy shit, John. I'm sorry.
42 Whale?
Ahan just dropped a 42 Berg.
42 burger is crazy.
Holy smokes, dude.
42
piece, Ahan? Did you have a great weekend? I hope you did.
You know he had.
It looks like you did. Let's fucking go, dudes. Ahan, you're a beast, man. W's.
Classic W.
Classic Ahan dubs. A 42 Berg. Holy smokes. I had the worst weekend of MLB season. Okay, Ahan, well, you're very generous, and maybe this will bring the karma back around.
Different level of hard.
My goodness, boys. We got 516 Sam coming in with a sub bang. Who is Jared Young, and why are his home run odds so low? That's a good question. Who the fuck is that?
He's hitting high in the lineup today. I'll save you the
Okay. All right. Power Wheels sub banging. Goonie XO sub banging. Dwarf coming in with a sub bang. That's my dwarf. What's up, Beast? Alex F. coming in with a sub bang. We cashing so fat today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ahan, bro, you're a fucking beast. We appreciate you. All right. Vibes are up on a Monday. Love it. Make sure you guys follow my guy Ahan on Twitter. All right. Check out his podcast.
Needs to hair on to get blown up today.
What'd you say?
He said he needs to hair on to get blown up today. Don't we all?
Sure.
Pretty much every time he comes on the mound.
Oh, man. All right. Guardians ML then, huh?
Yeah, I'm not scared.
All right. Any squares you like on the Guardians today?
Let's see. I mean, they all match up pretty similarly. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at taking Jose Ramirez pretty much any time in the series. Because throughout like all the pitchers they're going to see, I think he matches up pretty well. Do you see Andres Jimenez up there, which he is pretty dependent on where he's hitting in the lineup. They've been hitting him lead off a lot, but if he comes out and he's hitting lead off, it's probably not a square that's going to go anywhere, but I'd like to take him. Other than that, I mean, they don't have Josh Naylor up. He's minus 160 for hits, runs, and RBI. Surprisingly enough, I think he's probably going yard in the series a few times. But, I mean, yeah, they all match up pretty similarly. Will Brennan is an interesting name that's at the bottom of the board. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, Will Brennan, and also, I mean, you missed maybe the weirdest square I've seen today, Cam Gallagher. Up for a total base.
Every time he's up, he doesn't play, though. So I just kind of write that one off until I see him in the lineup.
Okay. But that Brennan one at the bottom is catching your eye.
Will Brennan, he's been hitting the ball hard. He's one of those guys like nobody's really been paying attention to, but like a majority of the Guardians have not been hitting the ball hard, but he has, which is weird. Him sitting at the bottom of that lineup. So he's a name I'm keeping an eye on.
Dubs. All right. We move and chat. We'll probably run like 15 minutes late on BTL again because I don't want to rush over these last games. KC, Minnesota. Cox going against Ryan. Cox is almost a plus 200 favorite against Ryan. Oh, no. This one could get ugly. Total's up from – there's no way that total opened at 7.5 with Cox supposedly pitching, right?
I really have no idea what happened with that total. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, Joe Ryan is probably going to dominate against the Royals lineup. Hot take. I backed him – or was about to back him yesterday against the Dodgers. Didn't get to the counter, but – they had a really weird win there, really weird series win, I think, too, against the Dodgers. So they're coming in at, I guess you can say, like their highest point this far this season, which is a very low ceiling, I guess you could say. But Austin Cox, he's not going to be out for like a full start, I don't think. He's probably going to go 3-4. He's a guy that's going to regress sometime soon. He's got good stuff, but he's had a significant like home run problem in the minors. He's been getting hit hard, but you're not really seeing the numbers to show for it just yet. And the Twins against lefties, they strike out a ton. They're just not very good in general, but the one thing they do well, they're like the Tigers and I guess like the Royals in some fashion, they just barrel the ball. So for a guy who has a home run problem that's kind of hasn't shown its face since he's been in the league for the last couple weeks so far, I wouldn't be surprised if today's the day. So you get a lot very early and very often. So I think the Twins roll. I'm not going to take them at minus 225, though. But Joe Ryan is also coming off of that absolutely horrendous start against the Braves. That start, which, again, I'm not discounting anybody for getting shelled by the Braves just because they kind of do that to everyone. But that was like an embarrassingly bad outing for Joe Ryan. Turkey after turkey after turkey. In the first inning, I think he gave up, 6?
Well, you know he threw a complete game shutout to start before that, right?
Yeah, I know that. But coming back after that and getting destroyed like that is crazy.
Agreed. I love this over. I think Cox gets lit up by the Twins. The Twins are a team that I want to be backing right now. Kind of talked about it a little bit, about them having that team meeting before the Orioles series. It worked. They had more life in those 3 games for me watching them than I think I've seen for them all season. And they only won 2 out of 3 of those games, but for them, that's a win against the Orioles in Camden Yards. Are you kidding me? That's a win. Yeah. This is a team that I'm keeping my eyes on down the stretch here as we head into the All-Star break. I think the Twins might even sweep the Royals. I would not be surprised if they did. Not a hot take at all. But they're still under 500, and this is a team that I want to buy low on, kind of like the Guardians as well. I think they win. Not a hot take. They're minus 240, and I like the over a lot, which has moved up a ton. probably because of Ryan's last start and because of Cox pitching. But all the money is on the under. Bets and handle, and you get double up arrows next to the handle and bet percentage for the under as well, Javon. So let's hope it keeps moving up. If that gets up to 9.5 at some point today, I'll be nuking. Any prize pick squares for the Twins that we like?
You got their whole lineup up pretty much.
They got everybody up. They got a lot of people up.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky, because this is the first time I think I've seen Buxton and Correa up for bases together in, I don't know, at least recent times. I know Correa has been listed pretty late, a handful of days where he got announced yesterday. He got announced leading off. They put him up pretty late, but I wouldn't mind going back to him. It's hard to take a guy like Kirilloff because
yes,
yeah, we'll figure that out in a second. But it's hard to take a guy like Kirilloff, being that he's probably going to be platooned. Christian Vasquez is up for hits, runs, and RBI, which is probably pretty interesting, if anything.
Yep.
And that Donovan Solano run is weird. So, I mean, they got pretty much anything. You can take anything here because I think they're
Like
good.
Velasquez.
Yeah. And
I'm with you on Kirilloff. I could see him getting pulled in the 6th when they put in a lefty or some shit. And him getting yanked out of this game, right? Or putting in a righty. Sorry. Putting in a righty. Because isn't Cox a lefty?
Yeah, Cox a lefty.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not seeing a lineup yet, but I'm looking at the squares and the odds, and I see Jose Miranda and Kyle Farmer listed, which that would be a huge plus against the lefty if both of those guys are in the lineup together.
Okay. Good to know. Give me that over, chat. I love it. You guys want a 2-piece for these early games on Prize Picks? Is that what you guys have been asking for? Is that what you guys want? I'm down to lock something in for these early games.
Yeah.
Or at least give it a goddamn shot. Okay. We've got 2 games that start up in the next 15-ish minutes, chat. Houston, Texas, Chicago, Milwaukee. Javon, let's start with Houston, Texas. Any squares we want to target here on the Rangers, maybe?
Ooh, I think we got some dwarf bangs.
No way.
More?
Dwarf coming in, giving out 5 sub bangs. Let's go, Dwarf. Let's go, Dwarf.
You'll love to see it.
That's my Dwarf. Latina Banks. Let's go, my man. W's. We want to start out with any Rangers bats?
Yeah. I mean, what are we thinking here?
Let's pull it up.
Let's pull it up.
Good work. Josh Smith, total base. Wouldn't mind taking that. Adolis Garcia. Wouldn't mind taking that. I don't like that they don't have a lot of guys up for this, though.
Yeah. It's not the best. Don't love that.
We could try to fade Javier.
How can we do that?
We could fade his fantasy score.
What's that
Under
at?
24.5. It's low. I mean, look, he's been negative in his last 2 starts, so it wouldn't be that sharp. But if you're down to buy stock and selling him, wouldn't mind that at all. They also have freaking Maldonado up there for TVs, and I feel like when that's up, it hits.
Yeah. He also hasn't gotten a hit in 3 games in the series.
Yeah.
0 for 10.
Yep. So
I wouldn't
those ones
mind
are catching my eyes. Javier and Maldonado. Wouldn't mind going your guy Diaz, hit run RBIs, but I'll leave it up to you.
What do we want, chat? What do we want? I wouldn't mind taking Maldonado. Having a fun little sweat there.
I don't know why, but I want to fade Javier.
You just want to fade Javier.
I just want to fade Javier. The total's moving up. The line's moved 40 cents towards the Rangers. Houston owns the Rangers. I don't want to overthink it. I kind of just want to back, the Rangers bats as a whole here.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind that. That just means that you can't take anything else in the game, pretty much.
Okay. I just don't like any Rangers bats really to take anyways.
Fair.
Unless you wanted to take that TBs for Josh Smith.
I mean, I'm going to sneak him in an entry just because he's my guy, but no,
Okay.
I like it, don't love it, but That would mean we have to go to Chicago, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. That means we do have to go to Chicago, Milwaukee. Or at least try. Let's take a peep. Let's see, chat. I mean, I like the over in this game. Should be able to find something in here, huh?
Yeah, I'm checking it out.
Talkman on the road sucks, though.
Yeah, I mean, for this game, you have like the Cubs' normal assortment of guys, and then just Yelich and Adames.
Why? What does that tell you? What do you think is going to happen in the game?
I mean, I don't know what that tells me. If it's just like their regular assortment of guys, I don't really know what to do with that. Talkman home run RBI is wild. Is it though?
He's always up recently.
Yeah, he's up every single day.
He stinks on the road though, Javon. His splits are crazy.
I know.
We could also go Maldonado and Smith.
We could do that for a little side piece, a little side grease piece. Just to have
to go Maldonado and Smith. And chat, we'll do the squad ride here in a minute. We'll probably start search stream up 15 minutes late again like we did on Friday. Okay. I wouldn't mind taking that, either going with that two-piece or targeting, fading our guy, whatever the fuck his name is, Javier, fading Javier's fantasy score. And then we'd be left having to take probably Talkman or Yelich. That's tough. You want to just go with this two-piece? I mean, look, I like runs in both the games.
Yeah, I really don't love the prop board for these two games. So, I mean, might as well just sprinkle on these goats.
Two-piece Smith and Maldonado?
Yeah, gross.
All right. In chat, this Nats game starts up at 6 Eastern. We're definitely going to get something out and some squares out before then.
Yeah, okay. A much better game. And do not put a rack on that trend.
Do not put a rack on this.
We just be so much better.
Do not put a rack on this. Feel like first two games is forced. I mean, it's forced. You guys wanted us to craft up one.
Yeah.
It's the definition of
forced from your hands.
Yeah. I mean, we don't love this entry, but you got something for the early sweats. All right, boys. There'll be something, definitely something later in the day that we love.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. We got 3 more games to mention, and then we got the squad ride, boys. Okay. LA, San Diego, Javon. Is Beria getting the start here?
Looks like it, yeah.
Beria, Snell. Looks like Snell is pitching as of now, and the odds are moving accordingly. So maybe he did just get locked in. Padres win this game. I'm not betting them -200. They might find a way to F it up. What are your thoughts on the over in this game?
I don't know. This just feels like a series that it's going to be. What was that one series with the Angels? I think it might have been the Cubs, actually, where we all liked a lot of overs in that series, and we just got pitching duel after pitching duel after bad offense with runners in scoring position. So, I mean, we saw that in Great American Ballpark for the Padres. Totality of 3 games. I know they had one game where they broke it open against the Reds bullpen a little bit, but a majority of that series, they were horrendous in every form and fashion. I really don't think that's going to change against an Angel staff and bullpen that's been really, really good. I know their bullpen's been regressing a little bit lately, but the back end is still shored up. So I don't know if I love any overs in this series personally, but it's hard to read this regardless of the Snell status. If he's pitching, I think it's going to be like 4-2 Padres.
Okay, we move. Let's talk about Seattle and San Fran. We got Wu going against Webb. Total opened up at 6.5 briefly, juice to the over. Now it's at 7, juice to the over as well. Javon, what do you like in this game? Anything?
Yeah, don't really love all that much other than sprinkling on the Mariners here with Brian Wu. This is probably one of the everybody loves to fade the Sunday Night Baseball team, I mean, this is probably the one where you want to do it because it is a pretty dramatic little travel session there with them going from New York all the way back to San Francisco. And they're going to be facing a lot of fastballs, which you think of the Giants, they've been killing right-handed pitching. They've actually surprisingly been terrible against lefties, but that's another day, another story. But they've been killing righties. They haven't been great against fastballs, and Brian Wu is kind of their little prototypical Mariners pitcher who's really good fastball, and that's what he's been finding a lot of success on. Secondary stuff is getting there. It's been pretty sharp, but it's still got to progress. So I don't think we're getting all that many runs in this game, but it's going to be a little Brian Wu masterclass, I think. I don't think it's going to be necessarily from him striking out 25, but I think he's going to get a lot of soft contact off the Giants' bats today, and Mariners squeaked this first one out.
Okay. And W insight here from Matt. Looks like Barry is on normal rest now.
Yeah.
Noobs are taking the overs. All right, I'm off the over. Good. Didn't Wu also just pitch a gem and Logan Webb got roughed up in that last start? Now we're seeing a line move 30 cents towards San Francisco after Sunday Night Baseball when they just took it out.
Yeah, I mean, as they should, probably. I mean,
W Phils.
Ooh,
MLB TV has every game free today. Let's go, boys.
that's huge.
Let's go, boys.
Huge for the fellas.
W's. All right. Yeah, Javon, I'll be honest, man. I don't love Seattle. Seattle just won a series against the Rays, and San Fran, did they lose that series against the Mets? Or just that last game?
No, they lost a series, I'm pretty
They
sure.
lost a series against the Mets, and now they're flying back after that stupid Sunday Night Baseball trend that I don't really give a shit about, that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
They're back home, and that line's moved towards them after Logan Webb just got his tits rocked. So I'm good on that game. I don't want to bet the Giants either because I think they're also going to trend down over the next couple weeks. So it's probably just to stay away from me. But if you got a feeling in your nads that Wu deals today, go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to lean into the Sunday night trend all that much, but I kind of want to lean into it today just because, I mean, they're going cross country and they face a Seattle team that's, not going very far, and they have a pitcher who's on an extra day of rest as well. So I think Wu pitches well. I don't think Logan Webb's going to go out there and get shelled either. I think the Mariners offense, we saw 3 straight overs by the 4th inning pretty much in that Rays series. So I don't think we're going to see anything near that again. I think it's going to be like a little like 3-2 type Mariners game. And then I think they get dominated for like the remainder of the series.
Okay. Chat, gun to my head. If I need a play in the early games, I'm laying it with Texas ML. Gun to my head, winner, and I stay alive, POD for the early sweats. That would be my submission. Javon?
Say it again.
Do you have a submission for gun to your heads? If it hits, you survive. Early game, MLB play of the day, nuke, straight bet?
Straight bet.
What's your favorite play in the first 2 games?
Say probably the Rangers.
Rangers ML?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't hate that over in that game either, chats. I don't hate the over in Chicago, Milwaukee either. If you're looking for action about those.
Yeah.
Okay. I want Iguodala. Bro, even Max Kellerman's gone too. They fired fucking everybody.
I know. They're
Crazy. I don't want, and that comment made it seem like I like Max Kellerman. I'm pretty neutral with him. I don't want anyone getting any ideas. He's pretty mid anyways, but some of the people they let go are goats.
I like Max Kellerman.
He's okay.
I don't love him. He's not bad either.
He's okay.
Yeah.
I agree. And I'm with Bunklin. I'm tailing G in it. It's that simple. Pitt Dodgers tonight, Javon. I'm not even seeing lines up on the books, but I'm thinking it's going to be Keller and Grove.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird that we're not seeing lines up here on the books yet, but what are your thoughts on this game? I'm seeing -165 Dodgers ML, and I'm seeing a total at 8.5 in this game. We remember what happened the last time the Pirates went out to LA. They swept the Dodgers in LA. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening again, to be honest with you. I think this is going to be the start of a little Dodgers run here, which it's hard to say you can start a little run right before you hit the All-Star break, but they got a big series, big 4-game set with the Pirates where they have a lot of weird arms that they're going to face. They're going to face, Mitch Keller, who's been fantastic for the Pirates this year. You're going to face Luis Ortiz, which I think is a matchup nightmare. You're going to face Osvaldo Bido, which is just pretty much a worse version of Luis Ortiz. So same thing there. And they're going to face Johan Oviedo, who's, been better for them. But I think this has this is their get back series from that last year. What happened there? I think their offense is going to have a fantastic series, and they're going to start blowing them out. And I think it starts today. I'm not all that confident in putting a minus 165 if this ends up being Michael Grove. But the fact that he's laying that against Mitch Keller, I know it's Pirates, Dodgers, I get it. But with him on the mound, I was expecting maybe a minus 150-ish, and then maybe get steamed up from that point. But if it's staying there and it's Michael Grove, I think the Dodgers offense just explodes these next couple games.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Dodgers ML lean. Let's see if those guys end up getting locked into the starting lineups, though. Still early for that game, and weird that it's not up on the box. All right, boys. We move. It's about that time. All right, let's start building the squad ride up, chat. What is your favorite play of the day today on the MLB slate? Let me know in chat. What is your favorite play? Go, go, go. We got Slinks coming in with a sub bang on Prime. Let's freaking go, Slinks. Appreciate that, my man. People forget Ahan gave out 42 subs.
People do
earlier today. People forget that. That's
crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy play.
Let's go, Ahan. Let's hit some bets. Let's hit a squad ride today, and let's all get our money up like Ahan. All right, boys. We'll get a squad ride or we'll get prize picks entries out there for the later games. Okay, me and Javon will craft something up after Surge. I am going to start up Surge Stream here in a minute, chat, but stay posted. We got some work to do before. Very important. Squad ride. Javon, what are we putting in here, my man? You want to put in? Do you want to put in Cincy Washington over, or is that giving you bad juju?
I don't love that over, to be honest with you. I know you do, so you can overrule, but I don't really love that. I think it's more Nats than the over for me.
I know. I just can't bet the Nats.
And they can. I mean, my favorite play on the board is definitely the Yanks Orioles over by quite a bit.
Yeah, we're putting that in there.
Yeah. But tough slate. Yeah, I mean, I would
dare put the Orioles in there ML as well, or no?
Yeah, I'm good. I'd rather stick to
You're
one.
good. Okay.
I wouldn't be mad at putting the Nats in this. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but I can't bet them.
What about Nats TTO? Me in the middle, like Devin said.
Yeah, that could play. We could go Nats TTO if you want. What's it at?
I'm looking to see right now.
Let me know.
4.5 minus
Good.
120.
Yeah, give me that. Okay. Nats TTO, Phil Secret four-legger. Who wants it? How'd you get it already? Fresh off the press.
Crazy.
Golly. All right. We've got Baltimore, New York over 8.5. We've got Nats team total over. You want to put the guards in there, ML? And fade Elder?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Oh. All right. All right. I've been hurt. I've been hurt by Elder a lot. Okay.
Do you want to go plus 1.5 then?
No, I don't.
What's that? Minus
plus 1.5, minus 125.
Minus 125. It's honestly not terrible.
Do you think the game goes under?
Yeah, I mean it's gone down from 9.5 to 8.5. I think it just means Gavin Williams is going to pitch pretty well, which is scary. But
let's check the splits. Nobody's betting on the guards. Do you want to take that 1.5?
Yeah, we can. I'm fine with that.
All right. Cleveland plus 1.5. That makes me feel a little bit better. Okay. Maybe that's all we roll with in 3-piece.
It's fine by me.
Today's shit entry. Phil's Secret 2-bomb. Oh my goodness. Wells fantasy over. Ryan fantasy over. Julio under fantasy. Santander over fantasy. Ooh.
Mm.
Okay.
Could be it.
Okay. Let's go, Phils. Lock in, brother. All right. I think we roll with those three options. I don't love the rest of the card. It's a short card, and we got early games already starting up. Agreed?
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Chat, 3 plays, 3 winners. Baltimore, New York over 8.5. Nats team total over 4.5. Cleveland plus 1.5. Sorry, guys. I wish I had more energy today. I don't feel too hot, but we're here. And I think we found some good angles on some of these plays. All right. Rain or shine. I don't care if I got COVIDs or not. We're finding winners. Okay, boys. Hopefully I don't, though. XXKP. That could be Kristaps Porzingis.
Could be.
Bang. Sub bang.
Wiz
Let's
legend.
go, my man. Drew Bear coming in with a sub bang. That could be Ruby Gobert. 10 months. We got DJ Lean coming in with a sub bang. You guys, I mean, I might not have brought the energy today, but you guys did. Let's fucking go, dude. We got 1 million sub banks today.
It's huge.
Love it. Chat, the poll is up in the Twitch chat. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Go vote. Go now. Hurry up. Go. All right. We got about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. All right. Yankees, Orioles over. Already has 57 votes. I bet.
W.
I bet. Low-key iCarly coming in with a sub bang. W's. Let's fucking go. I don't know what that emoji is that you gave, but that'll play. Looks like a robot. That might be Shohei Ohtani.
Could be.
I just sub bang, but not seen on the feed. Well, that's beat, Nicky Gambles. I appreciate you then. All right. Is there a stream today? Yep. I'm about to fire it up soon. All right. Might as well make the graphic now. Len Bong, he gets it. Probably going to be the Orioles over. You guys got about 2 minutes to get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Go vote. Go now. All right. What else, boys? I was at Camden Yards this weekend. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. W game. A lot of offense there.
Yeah. Super,
Probably
super
pretty
boring. I got a crab mac and cheese hot dog. It's actually fire.
I looked gas. I did see that tweet.
Fire. Absolute fire.
You gonna go see the Reds this week?
Yeah, I might go tonight, but my girl wants to go tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, though. I'm TBD.
You're not going on,
right now.
on the 4th of July to see Patrick Corbin? That's kind of soft.
Yeah, I mean, that could be on the list, too. But they got fireworks tonight, Javon. The lady wants to see fireworks.
That could be the difference right there.
So I might be getting dragged there later. We'll see. What time does Patty C pitch tomorrow on Independence Day? And we're not going to go into politics. But,
I think it's a day game.
It is a day game, 11:05.
Yeah.
On Peacock. We won't go into politics on the stream, but I'll tell you guys this. Patrick Corbin is probably very excited to be pitching tomorrow. Okay,
So
we'll leave
yeah,
it at that.
that's it might be another 10K game for him.
Yeah, if he didn't get the 10Ks the other night, he might get it tonight on fucking 4th of July. Okay? He's very patriotic. Some say he might be a little too patriotic. All right? Yankees, Orioles. Over 8.5 chat, squad rides. Look, today's slate stinks. We're banged up today. It's 4th of July weekends, but we're here. We're finding winners, and I think we got one with the over in Baltimore, New York tonight, fading the Yanks and their star pitcher after a perfect game. I bet. That's right on my alley, chat. I knew we were taking that today. Never in doubt. All right. Yeah, go ahead and lock in Chestnut under Glizzy's gobbled. Don't listen to Bulls here. Under Glizzy's gobbled and Corbin over K's for tomorrow.
This might be the most American two-piece of all time right here.
It might not hit, but it is patriotic.
It is.
All right, boys. And look, I might end up running something on here tomorrow. I'll talk with Javon, but there are games tomorrow. We're going to do something. Or I'm going to do something, even if it's just sweating out the Joey Chestnut hot dogs. All right, boys. We'll fire up the Surge stream here shortly. We are rolling with the over in Baltimore and New York tonight. We'll get you guys more Prize Pick squares this afternoon. All right, Javon will get in the lab. We'll sync up after Surge. We'll find some winners for you guys, A team and B team. But hey, have a great holiday Monday. All right, I know a lot of you guys are off today. Enjoy your off day. Hit some bets, find some winners, and we'll catch you guys on here soon. Same time, same place. We'll be soon.
Whoa.
All right. Peace, boys.